everyone, it's Ashley from Upside Goods and the Candle Collective, and today I'm bringing you a video all about the inventory management system that I have been using as a maker since I think I signed up June 30th of 2021, and it is now end of October, so I really feel like I've given it a go, and the system that I've been using is Craftybase. So let me give you guys a little bit of context. My name is Ashley. I started a candle business back at the end of December 2020, and I've been taking you guys along with me on this journey just to share a bit about the highs and lows and bumps and U-turns and all of the things of making a candle business happen. Quickly through the beginning of the year of 2021, I was realizing that as things started to pick up, I was having a really hard time keeping track of all the inventory and was doing like last minute orders and maybe over ordering some things because, you know, impulse buying is a real thing. And I quickly realized that I needed to grow with my business into an inventory management system. So I started doing some research, and a lot of people and makers suggested Craftybase. And so I was really excited, checked it out. There was another one that I looked at, and I had actually signed up for an account. But honestly, like, it was kind of one of those things where I signed up and then I didn't touch it for a while. And then one day I got on this really motivated kick, and Craftybase was just the one that was just kind of like glaring me down. And I was the deer in headlights and like, okay, I'm just going to go this direction. And so I actually made an initial video and shared it on YouTube, and it quickly became something that I didn't keep up with. I'm just going to tell on myself right now, but I made a video about Craftybase, and then I was going to take you guys along with me, and honestly, like, it just has not been something that I've been wanting to document until now. And the reason why I say this, and I want to just give you guys a disclaimer, is because it is not lost on me that Craftybase is a business that was started by someone that had a passion, had a dream, is a small business growing. Like, I do very much realize that there are humans behind the face of the Craftybase that I'm about to share with you guys. However, my experience with it has been wearisome, it's been exhausting, it's been stressful, it's been frustrating, and I'm going to tell you a few things behind the scenes of why I haven't made up-to-date videos about it until now. So started in June, it's now end of October. I did subscribe, I did their yearly plan, which was I think $228 just to buy the annual fee, because I was like, okay, well, I'm already invested. And here's the thing with inventory management systems, it's not something that you can just like set up in a day and move away from. Like, you have to set it up, you have to keep track of it, you have to constantly be checking in. It doesn't just do everything for you. You have to make sure that your inventory counts are still up to date, and there's a lot of really great things that I do like about Craftybase, and I think that there's other candle makers out there that have videos on this, and I consider myself pretty tech savvy. I consider myself like very able to easily adopt new systems and programs and software and all of the things. So let me just say that. But there are three things specifically that I wanted to share with you guys about why I'm really on the fence of staying with Craftybase at this point, and just give you guys a full honest review of it, because yeah, I'm just bothered. So first and foremost, I understand that Craftybase, again, like, there are humans behind this, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings or give them like bad reviews for the people that do choose to watch this video, but I just gonna be transparent about what I've experienced. So please know that this is not a knock on them. And I know that if I were to get a bad review video on my candle business, I would be really, really upset. I would be really distraught, but I'm hoping that maybe if Craftybase even cares about this or watches it, hopefully they can take it as like a learning experience from a maker's point of view. I know that there are makers out there that give glowing reviews and do a lot of partnered or affiliate-based videos with them, and I think that's wonderful, and that's their experience, but this is just mine. First and foremost, Craftybase is set up where for customer service that it's all done through email exchanges. and maybe I'm just a little bit coddled with other businesses that I've used or software programs that I've used, but the live chat is something that I think is really fruitful for me as a maker, because when I am needing a question answered, it's usually because I'm in the program, I'm working on it, like it's like on the nose, like this is the time that I need it, and my days are so packed that by the time like I'm out of the system is usually when I'm getting a response back via their email. So their setup is you send them an email and then someone gets back to you, and it is usually pretty timely. Like it's usually not like a day later, which is great. But I found that the biggest harp that I have is that usually the time I get the response back, I've already moved on to something else on my to-do list. And so it's really hard for me to like reorient my brain to come back into the problem that I was knee deep in with Craftybase to like go and problem solve that solution. And that's the thing, that this is almost like a two-part issue that I've had with them. A lot of the layouts of the emails that they're sending back or responding to are links to their help or support, forum, which is great. And I'm not going to say that some of those links haven't helped me resolve the issues, but a lot of times the questions that I'm asking them are things that either seem like a glitch in the system or something that isn't already answered through the link that I found on my own. And maybe I'm just like the one out of every other user that they have that's going to be the pain in the ass for them and say like, oh, well, no, my situation is special to me and no one else. But it does feel like a lot of times the links that they send me still don't resolve the question that I have, or still don't resolve the problem that I'm having with their platform. And so, a couple months ago, I think the founder, I don't really know, it was a guy, he had sent out a survey saying like, we want your information and feedback on Craftybase. And I think it was not even a survey, but like respond to this email type of thing. And I felt like I sent very clear and concise issues and gripes that I had with the business. Email that I got back, and granted, this is email, so like everybody can read it separately with tone or regard to care or service. And I just felt like everything that was coming back was more of a justification as towards why they do the things they do, rather than truly hearing the honest feedback that I was giving. So again, if I misconstrued that or took it wrong, then that's on me, but it still didn't feel like the honest feedback that I was giving was heard or changed or understood. I felt like it was just justified. Which again, that's fine. Maybe that's what they wanted, was just the outlet to have the conversation. So my number one gripe would be that the email exchange, it just doesn't work for me. And maybe this is just where like they're the square peg and I am the round hole situation and we need to go our separate ways. I don't know. And I don't even know if I'm going to go separate ways, because I'll be honest at this point, guys, I've invested so much time and energy in this platform that literally it's like, it breaks my heart to think that now I have to go and set up new somewhere else, have the learning curve, so on and so forth. So that's like point one. But the email thing, it doesn't work for me. I need a little bit maybe more hand holding, or I need a little bit more like at the time of the issue that I'm able to get it resolved. And they have said that they do email only because it helps keep their costs down, which I totally understand. Like they want to make an affordable software, and so this is one of the ways that they do that. And that's fine. They don't need to like steer away from their plan for me. It just doesn't work for me, unfortunately. Some of the emails have been helpful, I will say that, but most of them just leave me a bit frustrated and still needing to send an email back and still need to wait for an email to come back. And so then, by the time we have 4 or 5 emails just kind of ping-ponging back and forth, it's just like, I'm kind of over it, and maybe it wasn't the issue that I needed to resolve anymore because I'm just done. Second thing that I wanted to share about Craftybase is that there is a lag in the information uploading, and that took me a while to realize that. So if I go in and if I make a change on Craftybase, like if I input an order or if I do blah, 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 whatever, input some information, I have to like remind myself that I have to go into another tab or refresh the entire program in order for those changes to populate on a master level. And here's an example. If I really use Craftybase because I want to keep track of my inventory, but also because I really want to know a constant flow of information of how much my materials are costing me for the orders that I'm placing and shipping and sending. And so it does do a really good job of like giving you a bird's eye view and then a granular level view of how you can see where your costs are, where your inventory is, like where your margins are. And I'm a numbers person, so that really speaks to me. But it's really frustrating when I go in and let's say that someone placed an order through Shopify. It does link to Shopify. And then it'll say cost of materials, or I'm not sure the exact tab, it's over on the right, and it's zeroed out with a warning symbol. And while that's great because it flags you and it lets you know, I will then click into the item to try and problem solve as towards why my materials cost isn't showing. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, I can't resolve the issue as towards why. So I don't know if it's a lag in the database. I don't know if it's a lag in my tracking or my record keeping, but it's so frustrating because I feel like I'm constantly having to spend time going in and doing a checks and balances so that my monthly totals are appropriate or up to date to see what my materials cost actually is of all of the candles that I'm out there selling. Every time I like click on this link, it says it takes you to the forum of the help page, and it's like, why are my materials costs not showing? And it's just like, look, you know, the definition of insanity. Like, I've tried to figure that out. I go into the individual product. I make sure that all the quantities are up to date. Nothing's out of stock. There's no reason. Like, there is a huge, for me, in this system, discrepancy between what is real and what is actually populating. And it's really, really stressful. So again, this might be user error and I might just be completely missing something, but it is driving me absolutely bonkers. Like I'm a problem solver, I'm analytical, I'm type A, I speak with numbers, and this is all just like lost on me and I cannot figure it out, and there's no really rhyme or reason. And the thing I really like about technology or digital platforms or software or anything like that is that I usually am so analytical that I'm able to go in and like figure out quirks and to make them work for me so that the system is like speaking very simpatico. And I'm already in July, August, September, October, 4 months in, and I cannot figure out a rhyme or reason as towards why things do or don't do what I feel like they should be doing in Craftybase. And so I don't know, maybe I'm completely alone in this. Again, I know other candle makers have made like really like glowing reviews and even like series of videos, I think, for Craftybase and like affiliated with them. And for me right now, it's just not working and it's so stressful. Yeah, it's stressful. Makes me mad. So the other thing that I wanted to share that is a huge gripe that I have at this current moment is I recently updated my website, and that didn't have anything to do with Craftybase whatsoever, but in doing so, I found that I really wanted to populate the size variations of the scents that I offer differently, meaning that at first I had all of my scents categorized, so like people could go and shop the scent, and then they could shop each individual size that was offered underneath that product listing. And what I wanted to do was then change that to go, you can shop by scent. The new website that I have on Shopify, you can shop by scent, you can shop by size, and you can shop by category, which is really nice. So then I needed to then break it out. So I offer a 5-ounce candle in one scent, and I offer a 12-ounce candle in the same scent. So basically I wanted to break those out so that they're now 2 different product listings with the 4 different variants. I know that this is a lot, but basically, for example, I wanted my Bergamot Amber in black and white 12-ounce as one listing. I wanted my Bergamot and Amber as 5-ounce in black and white options as a second listing. So that was the only change that I made. And I went in and I did it, or the girl that helps me with my website went in and did it. And she was like, how is this going to affect Craftybase? I emailed Craftybase and I said, hey, how is this going to affect it? Because I need to change this. And I have my inventory set up. I have my materials, my manufacturers, like everything's set up, and I want it to be consistent and cohesive. And they're like, it's not going to be a problem. It'll read it. And then you just need to go in and update the recipes. And recipes are basically like every single material that goes into making a finished candle. So like everything that goes into making this candle, I have listed in the recipe, hence recipe. And so then it is keeping just a rolling track of what my cost of goods are for each individual product that I'm selling. Point being, I then went into Craftybase the next day to go and do the work that I already knew I had to do. And then I see that there's now 2 duplicates, but not exactly duplicates, of my variants for the 12-ounce candle. So now I have 6 variants where there should have been 4 variants in one product listing, when really there should be 2 product listings with 2 individual variants. These aren't things that you need to follow because I'm already lost myself. As you can imagine, my frustration. And so when I'm going to them and I'm saying, hey, these are the things that I don't know even where you got these variants, because they're not even correctly listed as I have that you would have pulled from Shopify. So now I have these variants, and now I have to go into each individual product listing and remove these or merge these variants because they came out of thin air. And this is where I have a really, really hard time, and I draw a really, really thick black line of like boundaries, because my time is worth a lot for me. Where my time is spent, especially in running a small business, in any sort of year or timeline of new to old business, time is valuable. And so for me to go into each individual product listing and clean something up that should not have been populated in the first place is really frustrating to me. And it takes a lot of time, and it's not that easy. I mean, yeah, you can go in with a click of a button and merge them, but it's not like you can go into every single product and do it as a batch. You have to do it individually. And this would take me probably about an hour and a half for a problem that I didn't even create. And that the emails that I'm getting back from them are like, oh, well, this is just what you have to do. And it's like, well, it shouldn't be what I have to do because it shouldn't have happened in the first place. You feel me? Am I being crazy? I don't know. Anyway, maybe the sun and the moon and the stars are not all aligned for this Gemini brain right now. I have no idea, and I really, really hate that I am sharing this video, but I also don't hate that I'm sharing it because, one, I don't want to feel crazy, and I don't know if anyone else has had this experience with Craftybase. If you have, please let me know, because then I'd feel a little less crazy. 2, I understand that they have a business to run and that they're doing the things, and the reasoning behind why they're doing it is probably vetted, and I'm not understanding it. And I never ever want to knock another business, but I do want to be transparent. I want to be honest about my experience with this, because I kind of need to finish what I started and sharing this with you guys of like, I told you I was going to give this inventory management system a go. I told you I was going to keep you up to date on it. And so this is my up to date on it. I don't know if this means that I'm just going to be gone from Craftybase. I don't know what even tomorrow means. I don't even know what email I'm going to get back from the owner that emailed me because I was just mad in my email. And I feel bad about that. I don't want to be mad. I don't want to be frustrated. I don't want to like cry wolf, but I also don't want to be spending a lot of time on something that I'm voluntarily paying for to give me heartache, stress, and frustration. Because trust me, there's already a million other things out there in the world that give me heartache, stress, and frustration. I don't know, guys. I don't know where we go from here. I do know a lot of you have mentioned Inventora to me. That was actually the program that I started with originally, and then kind of like dropped it and forgot it and then moved on, and then, the wind blew and, squirreled out. I will say that the owners of that have been very active on social media and have said definitely try it. I know that they're making a lot of upgrades, and it's not that I'm not willing to like try it. It's just that it's a really daunting process. Like there are 1.5 million things that we as makers and small business owners have to do. And so the thought of taking all of this time that I've spent for the last 4 months and just cutting it off to stop the bleeding, maybe I should just by what I just said, and go to another program is just daunting. And especially it's October. I'm releasing my holiday scents next week. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. There's a whole mountain full of work that I need to do, including janitorial duties, which you guys know that I like to talk about a lot. And it's just a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just vented. I don't know. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully I don't have any bad blood with Craftybase and they can just see that I'm just trying to be honest and transparent on a channel that I created based on those values. And I don't know, I hope that this helps you guys. If you have any insight, as always, leave them in the comments below. I always respond and I love to hear what you have to say about them. If you have any suggestions for me or maybe things that you've learned with Craftybase that have helped you, please let me know those as well. My email's down below too. If we can have a conversation about it, I'd like that. As always, guys, if I can be any help for you as candle makers or business owners out there in the marketing and business field, you know I have the 30 for 30, $30, 30 minutes. You come to the table with any questions that you have, and I offer my honest opinions and advice, and hopefully reduce a little bit of overwhelm and anxiety for you, and help you just to remove some roadblocks and get out of our own way, of course. My name is Ashley. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and check out some of my other videos, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.